Good morning. It is Friday, July 14th, 2023, back here for Daily Shakeup number 752. And today I want to talk about something that was really been on my mind this week, and the difference between you statements and I statements, especially in leadership and when we're interacting with others. Now, often this topic is discussed in terms of personal relationships, romantic relationships, but the reality is that leadership is all about relationships, and management is about the relationships we have and the trust we have or don't have. And I found this incredible definition. I really loved it. It came from a therapist named, her name is Sana Powell. And this is on the picture behind me, but I'll read it to you. Just so powerful. So you statements, when you're saying something about someone else, you, which imagine this, whenever you make a you statement, it comes with a finger. When you're making a you statement, even if you don't put your finger up, there's a finger pointing at them. And think about how we react when a finger is pointed at us. We defend because it's a form of attack. So when you make you statements, you're putting a person on defensive and they want to defend themselves, which means not really listening because I'm focused on protecting myself. So listen to this statement. You statements are where I tell someone what they did, why it was good or bad, and I assign a judgment to the behavior. And the tone of these statements, whether it's intended or not, and whether it's an actual tone, but just the context of a you statement can really negatively impact the relationship. All right. In contrast, we got over here, an I statement is where I focus on my emotions and experience of the other person. So it requires vulnerability, but these kind of I statements really enhance communication, can build, it says here, emotional intimacy. And there's really emotional intimacy in work because this isn't about romantic intimacy. It's about emotional and relational intimacy. So a couple of examples, you can't really see them here, but I'll read them to you. So instead of that, a you statement might be, why don't you ever listen to me? So I'm judging you as not listening to me. The I statement might be, I feel unheard. Can we talk? So let's look at another one. A you statement. You don't understand me. In contrast, I want you to know me. So let's think of some others that happen in the workplace. If I say to someone, you're not meeting expectations. Now, is that an important conversation? Yes, it is. But notice it's a you statement. You are not meeting expectations. As what? That's general statement. As a human being, as what? What's the expectation? As opposed to, my experience with you has been that we're not saying what we need in this area. And the impact of that is this. Another important element of you and I statements is a you statement when I'm saying something about you or at you, as noted earlier, is highly judgmental. And it's not actually feedback because it's just the label or the judgment. You need to listen better. Well, what does that actually mean? It's just an assessment of it. You're not getting things done quickly enough. Well, I guess that's sort of right, but what does that really mean? And think about an I statement, which also translates to impact statements. So if I say to you, instead of saying, you're not meeting expectations or you're not accountable, which can be true in my opinion, because remember, it's my opinion. So why don't I share my opinion as an I statement or a version of it? So my experience of you has been X. And as a result, the impact on me is. So now what are we talking about? We're talking about the impact on me, and we're talking about my perspective. That's not a judgment. The judgment part is what breaks down trust, breaks down our relationship. So start paying attention to this. See how you react to you statements and how they might be reframed as I statements. And more importantly, when you find yourself making you statements, think about in what ways can you reframe them as I statements. I've got a feeling I'm going to come back to this topic again because I'm realizing there's a lot in this, but let's take this as a starting point. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you. By all means, stay connected.